for it though. There, but yes, sorry, it's big announcement time.
Big announcement time, as it's just broken on twitter.com while we are recording here, as in conjunction with Rev Pro announcing the Copperbox, what we also now know as just announced on Twitter by Andy Quilden and Rev Pro. Rev Pro at the Copperbox is going to have Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi as its main event the night before Wembley. Fuck me, that's an announcement. Chat's going wild here. I could kind of see it coming as we're talking the Punk stuff. Andy Ogden, of course, on that bat phone, getting the information before anybody else. We did hear a bit of an inkling that this might be what was coming there for Rev Pro. What's your initial reaction to that, JP? I mean, they've got a 7,500 seater to fill there. It's a gigantic show. This match makes it feel like a gigantic show. Yeah. This is a run-of-the-mill Rev Pro match that you might get at a regular show, that you might get at a 229, or you might even get at a New York Hall. That's a statement of intent from Rev Pro for me, that right away, Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi.
Yeah, it is. It's also giving you something that you're not likely to get on the AEW show. So it's something different. So there's that appeal for, if you're there for AEW, there's that in place. But here's someone from, like, in terms of a big Ospreay match, they get to announce that kind of like first of all for the weekend. And it's Shingo, which this is the weird world. For this, very different to the AEW one, where the insistence is you have to have Will Ospreay in like a big bloody headlining match and all the rest of it. Yeah. Here, there's actually a degree of where it kind of matters, because this is very much like the kind of home turf, even if for all intents and purposes, it's a New Japan match. It's something I want to see live. Like this, ever since the announcement, I mean, I put myself on the pre-sale for it because I thought, I do want to go along to this. I do want to see it. It's a hell of a, like, I'm going to talk big things about it. They needed some big matches. I put this in the category of a big, big match because it's going to fucking deliver, and it's the main event.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's just like, I think Shingo is underutilized in a way. Like, I don't think, he's someone I could have imagined maybe Rev Pro being able to get. He's someone who's a bit unique, who you don't necessarily see over like somewhere like here, like when was the last time we saw Shingo? And like in general, that's been my take from this story from the start, from when we first started hearing murmurings that this might be a Copperbox show from Rev Pro. This is fucking big time. This isn't, if this is our WrestleMania weekend, JP, if this is like the one we get where it's our big weekend, yes, it's nice that like there's a Progress show going on, that, for those who want to go to the Fire running, the Eva running. Those shows are your WrestleMania weekend equivalents of, the types of shows that you would get on a Mania weekend, GCW, WrestleCon, all of that stuff. Nice little shows. What Rev Pro have done by booking the Copperbox, it's one, a fucking like brave like statements of intent, but two, it immediately puts them above that level. It makes this out. If this is our Mania weekend, that's our Ring of Honor, New Japan Supercard show that happens on the Saturday. Like I said on the daily update, that's maybe not quite NXT Takeover levels, but it's that kind of, back in that those shows pomp. That Saturday show, the day before Mania, that's the big one. There's going to be, probably 70 to 90,000 people all in one place, all wrestling fans on one weekend. And as Andy Quilden said on Twitter, Rev Pro have gone big or gone home, and they've gone big here. And the match itself shows that that's what this type of show is. It's immediately a cut above all the other scrubs. And this is the show that I think the hardcore fans who are going to be there in town, the likes of us, are going to go for. People are going to be scrapped based on that match announcement, never mind the Copperbox. People are going to be in travel plans. People are going to be staying an extra night. And I think if you were ever going to do it, now is the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, first of all, you're putting on a match which could be a genuine contender for best wrestling match of the weekend. That's a massive, massive deal. Like, you're able to offer that. It is a big match. And with big, proper New Japan stars. You've also then got scope for the other stuff that you can bring into the mix. Like, for example, for wrestling fans, if you're making that choice between Progress and Rev Pro, that's pretty much decided, really, at that point in time, which is going to have the much bigger appeal. For the other things they put on the card, it'd be good if they can get a loan of some AEW talent. That'd be really, really good as well. And it is I think for them, it's the best opportunity of getting off to a good start, because those people who are going to be like, think of the people on that first day of the pre-sale, real hardcore wrestling fans. They look at this and go, right, there is this. It's going on the night before. It's a 5:30 start time at a venue that's very easy to get to, even if there's a Premier League game. I know that sounds fucking nuts, and there really could be with West Ham. Could also technically be a championship game, but I'd be surprised if that actually happened at that point. But in terms of, like a venue to go to, you're putting on matches that are going to be really, really appealing. It's a difficult balancing act, because you want to focus on the future of Rev Pro, have an Oku, have a Ricky Knight Jr., which kind of makes you feel like you could have the title match, because it's not going to be the main event, but you can have that big title match there and still have it mean something. And I don't think you're kind of losing something, because it's just that you're not going to be able to follow Will Ospreay, Shingo Takagi, which if people want it, one of the greatest matches of all time, they're meeting in the Best of the Super Juniors final.
That's gauntlet down. AEW's going to have to follow that. Never mind, other matches on Rev Pro. What can AEW announce for Wembley outside of Omega Ospreay? That would be a better in-ring match than this. This has got 5 stars written all over it. I'm gonna have a word with Gareth, see if he'll bring the app back for the day, just so we can all throw our 5-star ratings in for it. It's an insanely strong announcement. Like I say, it's a statement of intent as well. Do you see them filling it? Do you see them filling the Copperbox? I think they'll come close. I think there's enough people in town, and if this is the type of show we're getting, it's easy. Look, the easy joke is because obviously, as a couple of people have said in the chat, Progress are running the same day. It's going to be partially head-to-head with this, isn't it? Because I think doors are 3:30 and the show starts at 5:30. And they're announcing British Bulldog Jr., Harry Smith, and Rev Pro are announcing, a match as good as this.
But I've got no reason to miss it, if anything, his announcement.
Well, I'd be careful with that, because if they do a Rumble or something, or a Battle Royal, it wouldn't shock me if Harry Smith turned up on Rev Pro, because that would be the type of slot to put him in. But what I was going to say, I wasn't even sideswiping of Progress. I think they'll sell out for the day, and I think all of their shows will sell out, Defy, Progress, and whatever else they've got going on at the weekend. But you're talking 600 people. We're in the thousands here, aren't we? For BritRes, the only charted territory like this, at least modern BritRes wise, we're not going back to Big Daddy, but talking, Progress at Wembley, ICW at the Hydro, reasonably close to the number that Rev Pro are going here for the Copperbox. I know they had, it's not completely out of hand as well for Rev Pro. They had the Ice Arena shows that did really well. Obviously had a big hand in New Japan's Copperbox show as well.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of numbers you kind of be hoping for. And for me, if Progress could get us, I went down to the Wembley Arena show to just go see Progress. If ICW could get people to go up to Scotland to go and see, multiple of those Hydro shows that did similar numbers to this, again, with 80,000, 90,000 of us all going down to London on this weekend, I think it's a no-brainer that they either sell out or come close.
I think they're going to do really, really well. And I think, like you say, you've mentioned about the kind of benchmarks for this, because this is the real statement of intent, isn't it? You're talking so when New Japan ran there, it was 6,119. That's what they got for the Copperbox. When obviously 4,750 for Progress. What was the Hydro number? Was it 6,500?
7,000, wasn't it?
6. I think it was under 7,000 as much. That's what you got to go for as well. That beats Daddy and Haystacks in Wembley Arena, for fuck's sakes. 7,000. And I think I really think it's got a shot at it. I mean, it has to put on this is the time you're going to get in a few bigger stars if you can. I think if they can get a loan of someone from AEW, that helps in terms of those people who are just AEW fans and think, oh shit, such and such is on the card on here. People who perhaps aren't being necessarily used, that weekend as well. If Pac isn't up to anything big and you can get Pac on there, I think that means a hell of a lot as well.
But, especially if if, and it's a big if, because having heard rumblings of this show for a while, been a little bit worried for Rev Pro that, fuck, what if AEW announced a Saturday show? I think some of the report we kind of talked about in the week with, Collision it will be on Saturdays by the time we get to Wembley weekend, but there's going to be, weeks where it's taped on Thursdays, according to Fightful and the Observer. So I think that I'd imagine Wembley weekend's going to be a night that gets taped on Thursdays, and maybe closer to that now. Because I was worried at a time. It was like, fuck me, what are they going to do if they're going head to head with like an ROH show or another AEW show? And maybe a little bit, a bit more comfortable with that now. But with that said, if AEW aren't running, makes, they're not going to be able to get everyone on Wembley, are they? There's going to be people in the country. Rev Pro and AEW are friendly, you would hope. It a no-brainer to let a couple of lads on there. Certainly the likes of like a Pac, people like that. There's got to be a little bit of room, like you say, while balancing, making sure like you say, you want to see your Michael Okus, you want to see your RKJs, you want to see those guys who've those homegrown Rev Pro type guys as well. But yeah, they can make this a true super show, and like I say, this match makes it feel like that already.
Yeah, a Luke Jacobs in a big feature match, a Ricky Knight Jr. in a big feature match against against people who you can get in some good imports for this. So like I'm genuinely excited for this show. Like I say, I wouldn't put myself in the pre-sale for it. It feels like, again, like if you look at it, the kind of weekend cards are kind of fixing themselves up. So it looks like we've got Riot Cabaret on the Friday. Promotion I've been interested in. I would like to go along. The logistics have made that kind of tough as well. Then you've got, obviously, like you say, Defy, then Progress in what do you call it, in the ballroom. Yeah. Then the Dome will be booked out as well. You'd imagine there as well. Possibly even the 229 might end up being booked out on there. So there is that bit of choice. It's not like kind of oversaturation. I'm expecting a GCW announcement or something like that. That'd be probably to come along.
Someone will shock you. Someone will come over.
Oh yeah.
Love it though. Brilliant. Yeah, so there you go. That's a strong first announcement. Obviously, we'll keep tabs on Copperbox going forward. But I believe, they were saying that tickets should be going on sale next week. I think there's a special mailing list as well. So if you're looking to go and get on that, because I do think these tickets are going to go fast before you know it. So yeah, obviously at AEW with events in the Box Park on the Saturday, Sunday, Dylan says obviously there'll hopefully be some other live stuff involving podcasts and the like as well. JP, this is our Mania weekend, mate. We were here. It's happening.